Knife in the water! God fuck damn it! You pink motherfucking knife! Name that reference. Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here with number 215. That's 215. Oh my god, we're already through the 15s. Roman Polanski's Knife in the Water. Oh man. I got mixed feelings about this one for a number of reasons. The movie wasn't bad, but the production, Criterion kind of dropped the ball on this one, and I'll explain it in a second. 92-94 minutes, Polish. I guess his first feature-length film. He produced a bunch of short films, which are on the bonus disc, on the second disc. But yeah. But anyway, let's talk about the film first of all. All right. So here's the skinny. You got two people, Andreves and Christiana. You know what? We're gonna call them Andy and Tina, just because. So Andy and Tina are driving. They in the car, and they almost run over this hitchhiker whose name we never get. He's just this young guy, who I thought it was Polanski at first. I didn't know what Roman Polanski looked like, so I thought it was Roman Polanski playing the part. And I thought, that would have been kind of cool, you know. The guy Andy is like really, against this guy, but he ends up picking him up. They go off to this boat. They drive off to this pier, and they're gonna go off sailing, and they invite the hitchhiker on, and the hitchhiker doesn't know, how to swim or man the boat, so Andy kind of takes charge and puts him through all these things, hoist the sail, hoist the mountain, tote that barge, lift that bale, all that stuff. So they're off sailing, and the hitchhiker keeps playing that game, and I forget what it's called. The game where you put the knife between your fingers, where he does the thing, like what the sailors do, and like the knife is like his prize, the hitchhiker's prized possession. He holds it with him all the time. So they're off on the boat, and he keeps saying that he can't swim. The hitchhiker can't swim. So when he falls in, he's like they kind of freak out, but he gets back on the boat, and there's a storm in the brews, and they have to go inside the cabin, and they play pickup sticks, and Tina sings a song, and the hitchhiker recites a poem, and anyway, Andy goes to sleep. Tina can't sleep, and so she's up on the boat, and the hitchhiker comes up, and they talk, and it looks like they're gonna, hook up, but Andy wakes up and sees them, and the hitchhiker starts cleaning the boat and taking care of things, and meanwhile, a little while later, the hitchhiker's looking for his knife, and Andy, reveals it. He has it, and he throws it back at him, but it bounces off the ship and falls into the water. And the hitchhiker gets pissed, and there's a fight, and the hitchhiker goes overboard and starts to, paddle around, and Tina freaks out because he says, "Oh my god, he can't swim." He's like, "The dude can swim." And Andy's like, the dude, he can swim. He was lying. But they can't find him after a while. They keep calling for him. And so Andy goes into the water and tries to find him. Meanwhile, the hitchhiker, I don't remember if he finds his knife. I would be very surprised if he did. But he hides behind this buoy. And while Andy's out, looking for him, the hitchhiker swims back to the shore, back to the boat rather, and climbs on top, and Tina kind of chides him for being no better than Andy. Meanwhile, but even with all that being said, all the sexual tension between Andy and Tina and the hitchhiker finally just explodes, and they kiss and they make love, but we don't see it, and then afterwards the hitchhiker gets off the boat and runs away, and Tina steers the boat towards shore where Andy's waiting. He gets on, smokes his cigarettes. They tie the boat up, and then they get back in their car. And they drive off, and Andy, Tina reveals to Andy that she had sex with the hitchhiker, and he doesn't know what to believe because he figures, oh, you're lying, you're just telling that to piss me off. But at the same time, he's like, maybe she did. And then the car goes up to this intersection and just sits there for the rest of the film, the ending, and that's how the film ends. And so yeah, that's all I can say about that. Is it a good film? Yeah, it's not a bad film. It's a little claustrophobic, but that's cool. I don't mind the lack of characters. I think 3 characters, that's triangles. Triangles always kind of interest me, and especially with on a boat, it's just away from civilizations, this very tightly knit scenario, where there's a lot of tension and all that, and so Polanski pulled it off. And so yeah, that's all I'll say about it. It's a great film, deserves the accolades. At the same time, it was a little confusing as to certain scenes weren't clear, but a lot of Polanski is like that, as I've discovered in Disc 2. So because of that, I'm going to give it a B+. I'll give it a B+. Not a bad film, and yeah, it's not a bad way to start off your feature-length career. And yeah, that's all I'll say. Not a great story. So my problem with this film is more with the DVD. I don't know if it was Polanski's want, or if Polanski had a hand in this, but if he did, or if this was just because Criterion messed up, there's one little thing that I felt was annoying. You can't fast forward through the film. You can't fast forward through Knife in the Water. Usually when I just as a little behind the scenes thing, when I watch the films, I usually skip the credits or the Criterion Collection logos, the Janus Film logo. I fast forward through all that and get to or at least get to where the film is. All the logos at the beginning. I skip those, but I couldn't skip those. I tried, as many, I tried fast forwarding as possible, and I went to the menu and it said that it wouldn't let me fast forward or rewind. So you had to watch it straight forward, which I thought was really stupid and annoying. So yeah, that pissed me off. And I'm assuming it's just for this disc. I haven't tried any other DVDs. I hope that the ability to fast forward. Oh no, that's not true, because I was able to fast forward through the video interview. There's a video interview on the disc 1 with Roman Polanski and his co-screenwriter Jerzy Skolimowski. So I tested it with that, and I was able to go backwards and forwards with that. But for some reason, the film and all of the films on disc 2, I couldn't. I had to watch them straight through, and I couldn't fast forward through credits or anything like that. So that was really annoying. And like I said, I don't know if that was Criterion's want or Polanski's want, but somebody's at fault, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Speaking of Polanski, the film gives English subtitle translations by Roman Polanski. However, Polanski being Polanski, I'm assuming, because, and I keep saying assuming because this is, I think, the first time I've ever seen any of his films. He half the movie isn't subtitled. You see people talking, but there aren't any subtitles. And I think that's really annoying. What if I'm assuming that Polanski didn't do it because he figured, that's not important to the story. That, English-speaking viewers do not need to know what they're saying. Just subtitle the littlest amount, just to know what's going on. And I think that's really stupid. That's a stupid move. Every other movie, I think there have been like 1 or 2 other films I think I've seen in the Criterion Collection where not every line is subtitled, and that's really annoying. But yeah, so watching this wasn't great because I wasn't able to fast forward, and at one point I accidentally knocked the controller and I went back to the menu, so I had to remember where I was and skip to the chapter and all that. And and then of course for that and the lack of subtitles, So, but yeah, at the same time, the movie itself was good, B+. But yeah, and then like I said, subtitles. I mean supplements. The interview, half-hour interview with Polanski and his co-screenwriter. They talk about the making and little behind-the-scenes stories and all that. Not bad. Now, disc two. Disc two is what I have a problem with. His short films. They're boring. They're stupid. And I don't like them. Let's talk. I'll give you the short rundown. At first, I thought, oh, okay, they're really short. There's only 8 of them, and the first one, Murder, is only a minute long. It's just a guy coming in and murdering somebody and leaving in a dark room. That's it. And then T-Smile is a guy watching a topless girl wash her hair, and then another guy comes out, puts out empty bottles, and he backs away, and he goes back to look, and he's shocked at what he sees, and yeah. Break Up the Dance is when I started to have problems, because not only do they begin to be longer than 2 minutes, but it was kind of annoying. Polanski staged this dance and invited all these teenagers out, but at the same time hired this gang to go in and beat up wreak havoc and beat up the students or the people at the party. And he filmed it, and like they didn't, to get their, or I guess he didn't tell them to get their real reaction, And I thought that was horrible. Then there's 2 Men in a Wardrobe, which was boring. Didn't make no sense. Just these 2 guys carrying a wardrobe around and getting beat up, and then going into the water. And then The Lamp, which made a little more sense, which was just this doll maker making these really creepy dolls. And he leaves the shop, and then the dolls start to whisper to each other, and then this weird little radio thing lights up and sets the building on fire, and nobody notices. And then When Angels Fall, which this actually might have been the best. It was a little confusing as to like the flashbacks, but it's the first one and only one in color. But it's this old elderly lady who's like a toilet attendant, and she's really like kind of a crone. She's really ugly, very old, very crow's feet, all that. And so she's taking care of this thing, and nobody really notices her. And we keep seeing flashbacks to her life, and when she was a very beautiful young woman. And all the flashbacks are in color, and all her current scenes, present day scenes, are in black and white. So the color scenes show her as a young woman with her husband or her boyfriend, and he goes off to war and gets shot, and he dies in a bomb. And yeah, so it's like a very romantic. The color scenes are very romantic, very wistful, and all that, compared to the darkness and starkness that is her current situation. So yeah, When Angels Fall wasn't probably the best because it made sense, And then The Fat and the Lean. The Fat and the Lean was kind of stupid. Is this fat guy and Polanski, who's the lean, and this master and slave relationship. The slave, Polanski, like basically just entertains his master, dances for him when he plays a drum, and he plays flute for him, and feeds him and fans him. I guess holds his piss pot for him, and while all this is happening, the slave wants to get away, but the master keeps trying to keeps telling him, keeps cutting him off and all that. And at one point he gives him a goat, but the goat is tied to the slave's ankle, and the slave is, and when the slave's freed from the goat, he's so enamored by this master's move that he ends up, helping him out again cheerfully and all that, and then he plants flowers, and yeah. And then the last one, Mammals. Oh god, it's just 2 guys fucking around in the snow. Well, not really fucking, but just, yeah, they're pulling them. The one guy pulls the other, and then they wrestle, and at the end they carry each other piggyback, and yeah, that's it. Nothing much to say about these apart from they're stupid and boring. And just like the others, I couldn't fast forward through them. A lot of these were silent films too, and I don't have a problem with fast forwarding through silent films because I can tell what's going on. I mean, I think the only ones that had dialogue were Break Up the Dance and When Angels Fall. I think those were the only two that had, and then even then, When Angels Fall had like 1 or 2 lines at all. So yeah, I think Break Up the Dance was the only one that had any significant dialogue in the film. So, and even then, it was still one scene for that. So yeah, his short films are pretty blah. So anyway, so that's all I can say about this. Knife in the Water, good film, bad DVD production. Short films are boring, but you know, if you're a fan, I guess this will do. I don't know of any other pressings of it, so this may be your only chance to see Knife in the Water. So, but yeah. So anyway, this could do with a remaster. This could do with a Blu-ray edition. I'm not sure if it's part of the Blu-ray. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. I don't pay attention when Criterion reissues their Blu-rays, although I do sometimes. But anyway, so yeah, B+, not a bad film, just horrible DVD. All right, so that's it for this week. Next week, we got our next week's all planned out. We got Rules of the Game, as you know, and Tokyo Story, and then Le Sucre Rouge, then La Strada, and then the week after that, we're gonna have a bit of issue. We may have to jump ahead a little. As you know, I've got Naked Lunch and Ikiru here, and I put a hold on the one Diary of a Country Priest, and then however the one after that, Barbara Schroeder's May Tracy, I'm unable to find at the library or on Hulu. And so I'm not sure what to do, and I can't find any streams of it online, so either I'm going to have to buy it or just skip it for now. I'm leaning toward the latter because I've looked at it and it looks bad. It's still in print though, so it's cheap. I could get it from Criterion site. I could use the $10 credit I got for signing in through Facebook and all that. But I don't really want to use it on a movie that I'm just going to sell again. I want to use it on like a good movie, like By Brackage, or a movie a good thing I don't have, or like Pepe Le Moco, you know. I want to save that $10 for something good, you know. So I may just buy it from Amazon and we'll figure it out. But anyway, I'm just letting you guys know the number. I don't know what number that is, number 220 something or other. We may have to skip that one and go ahead. We'll see. But anyway, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't throw knives overboard, or don't throw knives at people because they could bounce into the water. And then and yeah, learn how to swim. Learn how to swim. And don't play that game because you could hurt yourself. Don't play this game. And yeah, that's all I'll say for you today. That's all I can prepare you for. That's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on Monday for the Rules of the Game. And until then, goodbye.